there, gamers. It's the end of 2024, and I thought I'm going to make a little video and just do a roundup of all the TTRPGs that I played in this year. And it's really kind of for me, for a record, but hey, who knows? If you stumble on it and you like it, hit the thumbs up. And if you think that you know a game that I would like to play, please add it to the comments below so I can see it. Because as you're about to find out, I have very eclectic tastes. So I am rounding into my 3-year anniversary of playing TTRPGs. For the first year and a half, almost 2 years, all I played was D&D 5e. It's the entryway, gateway drug of TTRPGs, I guess. And I had a great time. But at some point, my DM, shout out to Eric at Westside Mags in Montclair, New Jersey. He said to me, you know, I really think that you would enjoy other systems that are a little more rules light and role play heavy. You really leaning into the role playing, so I think you might enjoy that more. And he encouraged me to try Thirsty Sword Lesbians. And I honestly can't tell you if that was something I played this year in 2024 or if I played it last year in 2023. So I don't know if I'm not going to count it as a 2024 gameplay because I just can't remember. But it was the first one I played outside the 5e system. Although I played a lot of 5e this past year. So let's talk about what I played this past year. So I did play in this homebrew with Eric at Montclair, in Montclair at the comic book shop. And that was wonderful. He's super supportive, very creative and inclusive, and I just can't say enough nice things about him. Although he's really not afraid to beat the heck out of his players. I did die, but that was intentional. We wrote it into the story. Anywho, also it would have been impossible. Let's hydrate, shall we? Notice the PaxUnplugged mug. We're going to get to that. Also have to give a shout out to Start Playing. I'm not being sponsored or paid by anybody, obviously, but it wouldn't have been possible for me to try as many things in the past year as I did without Start Playing, because the number of people I know, like in person, who live near me that I can role play with, pretty limited. So I played with Martin. I played through this wonderful game. We just finished this campaign. It was super fun. I got to play a druid, which I enjoyed very, very much. And now we are going to do, starting 25, we're going to do Layers of Alaris. I keep forgetting it. And then after that, we're going to do Curse of Strahd. So that's for 2025. That was not now. That'll be later. So that winds up my D&D. Although I probably played more D&D than anything else in 2024. That's the end of it. I also played a couple sessions of Eberron, and then that group fell apart. But I liked Eberron. I like that world is kind of cool, but I didn't get to do much of it. All right, the next thing I wanted to talk about was all of these Powered by the Apocalypse systems. So I played several Powered by the Apocalypse games, enough that I decided to do a little 3-ring binder to keep track of them. So here's my Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Here is my, the other thing that I played the most of was Root. So I played a full campaign of Root on Start Playing. I think probably what I should do is in the description section below, I'm going to give a shout out to the GMs that I played with on Start Playing that you might like. Yeah, so if you're interested in those things. So if you haven't played Powered by the Apocalypse before, it's a rules light game, lots of role playing. But what I really like about it, there's still plenty of rules. You get to roll dice. You know, you're going to roll. It'll be fun. But it is story forward, more collaborative. So the GM is not like the boss of everything. You're creating a story together. Now, a good GM obviously is going to steer you and, you know, give you options that are going to lead to good places. And I was fortunate enough when playing this root game, I was a Ronin, which was very cool. And we made my Ronin have, he lost his memory. Why did he lose his memory? Well, why can I not think of that word? He lost his memory because I have it. Lost his memory. Anyway, poor Sterling, he lost his memory, but we found it, don't worry. But the GM really wove it into the story nicely. Because I was constantly discovering things about my past. So that was very cool. And then it turned out well, never mind. We're not talking about that. It was a really fun game. And I really felt as a player that I was able to strongly influence the storyline. All of us were. I was just really, I guess I was just fortunate to have a really good group of people who were very willing to just roll with it and do crazy things. And so we did. None of us died. We did find out some pretty dark things. So you think, oh, I'm just playing with I'm a cute little animal, right? And you are a cute little animal, but it can be very dark. And I really enjoyed this world because you have all these political factions, and yes, you're just vagabonds running around in the world, but you have to really kind of be on your toes about who's doing what and what factions are wanting what. There's always like all these little motives, and you have to be aware of what's happening. So that is very cool. It's intellectually challenging in a way that's not just about, okay, I want to cross the room. Well, what dice do I have to roll to figure that out? And what's the terrain? And how far can I move? It's just like, what makes sense? You want to get over from here to there and hit that guy across the head with a shovel? Okay, just do it. Just pick up the shovel and go hit him. You don't have to worry about, am I strong enough to pick up the shovel? Does it make sense? Then do it. That's the thing about Powered by the Apocalypse that I love. That sometimes 5e just really grinds my gears. In fact, my GM said, okay, great, you make a video about this and you complain and you see what people say. So go ahead, light up my comment section. I'm playing a druid in Strixhaven, and we get caught in a snowstorm. So I do the logical thing. I wild shape into a polar bear. And then the GM says, because, you know, there's also like a fairy and all these other people in the group. And the DM says, roll a whatever check. I forget what he wanted it to be, Constitution. It doesn't make any difference. And I just looked at him and I said, are you for real? I'm a polar bear. Why do I have to roll anything? I said, this is what makes me nuts about 5e sometimes. And he says, go ahead, post a video, see what people say. So go ahead, you tell me what you think. Back to Powered by the Apocalypse games that I played in 2024. Side quest there. I love Monster of the Week. I only got to play one session of Monster of the Week, but I liked it so much that I'm planning on bringing it into this group where I'm the GM. More about that later. Very lovely. I mean, what a great concept. Who wouldn't want to hang out with Buffy or Scully and just like do something exciting and brave and courageous every week that's different? Flavor of the week. I played one session of Avatar. You might say, why do you have the box if you bought one session? Well, there's a backstory on that. We're not going to get into it. But this is what I would say about Avatar. Wonderful adaptation of the Powered by the Apocalypse system. However, if you are not really versed in the Avatar lore, you're going to have a hard time with this. I had a hard time. I was very fortunate that somebody I was playing with had picked the same character type I did. So they were able to help me, but I absolutely did not understand some of the powers that I had, some of my elemental power. I didn't get it. Like, he was like, okay, so I'm just going to build stairs and go up the side of that building. And I'm like, what? We can build stairs? And he's like, yes, you have whatever it is. I forget what I had. We go, oh, okay, great. I'm going to build stairs too. I love playing with other people. By the way, I think I need to do a shout out right now to all the people that I played with in 2024. If you're watching the video, hi. I played with some really lovely, lovely people who were just so creative and open-minded and welcoming. I'm really enjoying this community very much. And as you can see, I've played a lot of games with a lot of different people. I played one other game that's not powered by the apocalypse. I played Tales from the Loop, which was really fun. I kind of felt like I was in Stranger Things. It was good. It was good. All right, let's see. Did I get all of my Tales powered by the apocalypse in? Yes, I did. Okay, now we're going to rush to the end of the year, powered by the not powered by the apocalypse. Oh. It's a lot of talking. PAX Unplugged. This is my first gaming convention, and I went by myself, so I was a little bit panicked about, oh, how am I going to get people to play games with me? But it worked out great, and I signed up, pre-registered for 2 RPGs, one of which I had been looking for somebody to play with on this anyway, and so I was able to get to it there. And the other one I had never heard of before, but when I was looking for what can I pre-register for, there it was, and I was like, wait, what? That's a thing? Oh, I got to do that. I think I have to adjust my camera. Hang on a sec. Just make sure we're in frame. Okay. So the first one I played was Pirate Borg. So fun. So fun. And continuing to shout out to people who played with me in 2024. I mean, who knows what these young guys thought when I sat down at the table? Right? They're like, what is happening now? They were so welcoming and nice to me. We had a great time. Okay, one of us died, but, you know, he just picked up a pre-made character and kept going. I don't know if you've seen this book yet. Look at the art. Look at it. Look at it. How gorgeous is this? What a beautiful, beautiful book. And I think that I may have met this guy. What's his name? Luke? Luke? Is that it? I think his name is Luke. I'm sorry if I got the wrong name. But yeah, we played our game. We were the last game that got played, so we're at the end of Sunday. We had all been there like for 3 days. We were tired, and we still had a great time. So I got what was left in my budget. I bought because wow. And this is a game I would run. I mean, it was super fun as a player, but I would run this one too. It's just, gosh, wow, so much fun, so much fun. And our group made it to the end. We had one death, but we made it to the end, and we got to do carousing, which our GM said we were the first ones all weekend who got to the carousing stage, so that was cool. The other game I played, and I don't have anything to hold up for it except my little character sheet. This is Monty Python's Co-Curricular Medieval Reenactment Program, which was a hoot and holler. Am I old enough to have watched the original Monty Python as it was airing originally on TV? Yes, I am. How many times have I watched Life of Brian? A lot. So the opportunity to play a game called Spank the Pope, oh, I'm in. I am all in. Again, super fun. Look at how many different dice we have in this game. You like to roll dice? You're gonna roll some dice. D30? What? So you do actually kind of need to adapt somehow to get these things. I did order it. I was sitting at a table with people who had, excuse me, backed the Kickstarter. So they all kind of knew what they were doing. I was the noob, but they were really patient with me. And there wasn't that much that I had to learn. So I was able to get in there and really conduct myself appropriately. Very, very fun. Very fun. And yes, I did pick up the coconuts and go click, 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 click. We were a group on the road to Canterbury. So a little something there for history buffs, literature buffs. It was fun. It was really fun. Okay. Shall I go into solo now? Yeah, let's go into solo mode. So as often as I manage to get to tables, thanks to going to a convention, having an ongoing game, start playing games, I also just couldn't stop playing. So I was on the search for a good one to play solo, and I hit upon Shadowdark. Now the nice thing about Shadowdark is that the creator is doing solo things for it, other people are doing solo things for it, and it really just adapts itself very well. You have to be okay with your character dying, because Shadowdark, torch goes out, bad things are going to happen. That's the deal. And this is it. This is the book, right? This is all you need to play Shadowdark. You don't have to have 3 or 4 books to play this game. You need one book, and there are lots of videos online of people who are playing solo and airing their games. And so the resources to learn this game and to play it solo are there. It's not a huge investment. I liked the book. You don't have to get the book. You can just get the PDF. So, in fact, I'm going to talk about some other things. And so you want to just go to itch.io or DriveThruRPG. Sometimes they're both places. But yeah, this was definitely my favorite solo. I did experiment with playing D&D solo. I'm like looking around. I experimented with that solo. I experimented with Monster of the Week solo. But this is the one that I really enjoy playing solo. It doesn't feel like such a struggle. I don't know, it adapts easily. I may try to play Pirate Borg solo in 2025. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see about that. Now, tarot is my thing. It's my jam. And so I'm also always, and there are lots of solo tarot games. I did back Covens of Midnight, but I haven't played it yet, so that'll be something to look forward to in 2025. This was probably my favorite tarot solo RPG. You can also get this in PDF form, but the book is so beautiful, I decided to just invest. If you like Kiki's Delivery Service, well then, see, that's kind of what you're getting. It's just gorgeous. It's really, I can't say how beautiful it is. The book is so well constructed. It's got ribbons, comes with a bookmark. I took a journal that I was done with and remade it to use for this game. Comes with these really fun stickers when you buy the book. So that's why I bought the book, the hard version of it. I'm really happy with it. So started in 2024, going to keep going. If you've never played tarot RPGs, just imagine whatever you had for dice, whatever you were doing with your dice, now you're doing it with cards. And so the numbers count, the suits count, the actual card count. So when you play one of these games, you're going to get charts and information so that whatever card you pull for whatever prompt, this is going to give you your answers, or sometimes it's giving you another question to prompt you on to the next thing. So this is solo tarot RPGs are basically like roll and write, except you're pull and write. I did another video about which decks I like to use for these kinds of games. Maybe I'll link that if I remember. I played enough that I started a 3-ring binder. So I printed out Dungeons of Divination because I thought having just a dungeon crawler with tarot would be fun, but I haven't played it yet, so that'll have to wait for 2025. So this is the one, if you've never played and you wanted to start and you wanted it to be affordable, this would be my suggestion, Amnesis. So this game, like I said, itch.io or RPG, DriveThruRPG, I'm not sure. Written by Samantha Lay. She also wrote another one this year called Death to the Author, Kill the Author, or Death to the Author, one of those. And it's this one, though, this is the one I played, a solo journaling game about self-discovery, reflection, and identity. You play as an individual who has woken up with memory loss. You do not remember who you are, where you are, or what you care about. As you draw tarot cards, you fill the blank spaces of your past and learn more about your present. So, you know, it comes with examples and instructions, and then these charts to help you out with what card you're playing and how you're going to use it. And then you do have a character sheet. There's the character sheet. Is there another one that is in here? Oh yes, Village Witch. Village Witch is also fun. A smaller game in a way, but very similar to Koriko. In Village Witch, you have finished your training or your apprenticeship, whatever, and now you're trying to find a village where you're going to set up your witchcraft practice. And you go through, you find a location, and then you're going to go through a year. So it's got seasons, spring, summer, winter, fall, and then at the end of it, you decide whether you're going to stay there or keep looking for another location. So both of these games, Amnesis as well as Village Witch, have replayability, right? You could continue your story, or you could just start again. So yeah, a lot of room for personal interpretation. And these things they're fun for exploring yourself as well as writing a story, right? I played 2 games as sort of a duet with someone that I know online. One was called Ritual Magic for Besties, and in that game you are 2 friends and you're creating a ritual. That's another thing you're going to figure out together, and a really kind of fun thing to do. This is a one-shot. I'm thinking we took just over 2 hours to play it. And one of the really fun things about this is part of what you do while you're playing is you create a playlist, which is really fun. I enjoyed that a lot. And then another one that I'm playing with this same friend is called Your Friend in Witchcraft, which we're doing as play-by-post. And in that one of you is a novice and the other one is experienced, and you have this correspondence going where you are talking about your lives and your witchcraft practice, and you're using tarot cards to help you play that out, tell your story. Super fun. And speaking of play-by-post, don't want to forget this play-by-post game that I am playing. So I'm playing Good Society by Good Society, and it's a Jane Austen RPG. And I'm playing a variation on that called Sense and Sorcery. So we are in a world where magic is real, and we have all the societal, all the Jane Austen kind of society, manners, politeness, all that sort of stuff. But there are mechanics built into it. There's the Good Society, the folks who invented this, they're in Australia, I think. I know the weirdest things about these games. They have a lot of videos, so it's not too hard to learn the rules of the game. And they have a lot of quick start stuff that you can just print out and fool around with and see if you like the mechanics of it. So that's what I'm doing, play-by-post. It's not moving fast, it's moving a little bit slow, but I think a lot of that has to do with the availability of the people that you're playing with, right? So sometimes we're all on there and we're posting multiple times a day and things are really moving along. And then, you know, like we're at the end of a holiday season right now, so, you know, things are kind of slow. Like somebody will post something and it might take 2 days for anybody to react to it. So, but that's, you know, that just depends on who you're playing with. So I don't think that's a reflection of play-by-post. And then the last game that I played, wait, I think it's the last. Let me look back at my notes. Okay, talked about that. Yep. Okay, so then the last thing that I played, which is certainly not the last in my heart, is a game I'm developing. So I'm using tarot and the mechanics of Powered by the Apocalypse. So instead of dice, we're using the cards. So if you're familiar with Powered by Apocalypse mechanics, you could probably guess how we're doing that. We're using the numbers on the cards rather than the dice. So instead of the 2d6s where you have 1 to 12, we're using the minor arcana, so our scale just goes from 1 to 10. But then we're using the images on the card for flavor, as well as sometimes direction, or sometimes even literal stuff. You know, like maybe you pull a card with a sword and you're doing an attack, and maybe you didn't have a sword before, but you're going to say, oh, I see a sword, I pick up the sword, and, you know, whatever. So, right. So it's in development, and I'm working on different, I'm experimenting with different moves, and I'm happy because I have a group of people who are flexible and generous and understanding, and you know, we're making it happen. We're developing it, but they're mostly tarot people, and then there's just me and this one other girl, the one I play the duets with, who does RPG as well as tarot. She's really into Cthulhu. I still haven't played Cthulhu. So maybe that should be on my 2025 list, right? I should do a Cthulhu game. I think so. So once again, I just want to say I'm enjoying this community. I'm enjoying this hobby very much. I played a lot of different things. I'm like looking around at all this stuff. It's like a lot of stuff. I played a lot of different things, and it was super fun. And I'm really curious to see where I'm going to go with this in 2025. So maybe I'll do another one next year. Who knows? If you think you have some good ideas for me, what I could try next year, please put it in the comments. That would be so helpful. Join the conversation. And yeah, so if you've ever said to yourself, I wonder what would happen if my mom or my grandmother played TTRPGs. Now you know. Have a great holiday season and enjoy whatever games you're playing in 2025. Bye.